All right, so yeah, being on time, being prepared. These are virtues in Zen um, that I'm working on modeling, and maybe always will. But it's work. My point is that we're always work. We always have work to do in different ways. All of us. You can never look at somebody and say, oh, they're beyond having to work on their issues. It doesn't work like that. No matter how much spiritual practice we do, or any kind of practice we do, we always have more subtleties and deeper levels of working on to so anyway, for what that's worth. So the koan today that I'm going to talk about is called The Symbol of the Circle in the Blue Cliff Record. And the koan itself is very simple. It's one of these things where it's kind of like, oh, it's just kind of like a normal, relatively normal interaction and exchange that doesn't seem like there's much going on. But from a Zen perspective, when we break it down, there's a lot here. There's a lot of wisdom here, and it's really wonderful. And so it's called The Symbol of the Circle, and it's case 33. So I'll read it, and then I'll break it down more, and then kind of highlight, what I think is important. Ministry President Chen So. So it's kind of like, I'll just read it through once. Ministry President Chen So went to see Shifuku, who is a teacher. Seeing him coming, Shifuku drew a circle. Chen So said, I've already missed the point, just coming here like this. How much more so to go on and draw a circle? Shifuku immediately shut the door of his room. Secho commented, Chen So only had one eye. So that's it, right? That's it. Just it's very, I don't know. It's obscure and a bit. I don't know. It's like it's kind of random. So to explain that a little further, so there's a teacher, Shifuku, right? So he's, I don't know if he's famous or not, but he's a teacher that the ministry president, which I guess is, like an official, a political official back in the day. I don't know if it's the president of the whole country or the president of the department of the country, but it seemed kind of like he's important. And so the political or national official comes to see the teacher. They're not telling us whether he's a student or not, but apparently he is. Like, I'm assuming he's a student. And so it's kind of like this, I'm going to set the scene up for you, right? So the teacher is expecting this national personality to come visit, probably for teachings, probably to help, his understanding. And so from this, we can see that they have a relationship. They're like already close. They're close enough that the teacher can see him coming and give him like a test. So he draws a circle. And so in Zen, a circle, is symbolic and has a powerful reference to how everything comes together and everything is all one, etc. And so it's used throughout Zen history and teachings in different ways. So the teacher, it's like setting a trap almost, right? It's like he sees the student coming he draws a circle to kind of invite him to engage in this Dharma interaction or dance. And the national teacher says, Chinso, I've already missed, no, he's Chinso. He says to Shifuku, I've already missed the point just coming here. And so that's like an awakened response to this test, right? He's like on a higher level. He's not trying to like outdo the teacher. He's not trying to answer the test. He's not trying to like say something smart or pithy to sound enlightened. It's very ordinary and very like, what? It's like, so he sees that the point of coming to teaching is futile in itself, right? We're already awakened, we're already enlightened, we already have all the wisdom and compassion that we will ever have or need. So there's no point in going somewhere else to see somebody else to give us that. So he sees that, right? That's where his understanding is. He realizes that there's no point ultimately. And so he's more like making fun of the test. He's like, what did you go to all the trouble of like creating a test for? I get that there's no point even being here from the get-go. Which is a very powerful answer in itself. To say that there's no need to answer is the powerful answer, the most powerful answer. And so he says, how much more to go on and draw a circle? Like, I already realized that I'm not getting something from anybody else. All the more for you to create a test for me to answer. And so at this point, he's kind of like in this, if it's a game, he's got the edge. He's given an answer that's like, I see through you. And so what else is there for the teacher to do? Shifuku. And so it says, and Shifuku immediately shut the door of his room. Which is, it's a wonderful and intimate response. The way I'm interpreting it, the way I see it, is that it's an acknowledgement, it's a validation that if you can see through this, then you don't need me to teach you anything else. It's like, okay, then you're good, right? It's like, you're good. Great job. Now I'm going to go back to work, or I'm going to go back to watching TV or whatever I'm doing, right? You're good. So bye. He just turns around and walks back in. Which, could, if someone was a newer student or less awakened, they might be hurt by that. They might be offended, or they might think that it's rude. But that's just kind of like the mid-level understanding of that. The higher understanding is, okay, I don't need anybody to give me what I came to get. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be my own teacher. And so the last line, it says, Secho commented. So there are these stories, right? It's a story like a parable. And then there's a commentator who, Secho, commentated. And then there's people who wrote about the story and the comments. And so when he says Shinso had only one eye. So the national representative, he's well, you know, part of the comments that they make about this, they say is that a good thing or a bad thing to say that he had only one eye? Well, in Zen, it's a good thing. It's like he had the eye of oneness. And so he's acknowledging that the representative or the national the politician was awakened. And that's why he didn't fall for the circle trick, the old circle trick. Yeah, if we just read this and didn't break it down, it could go by very easily. Like, oh, there's just a little story about something that randomly happened that there's nothing really there. But there is. It's a very powerful interaction. And that's part of why it's made it to our current koans that we study. It's in our book of koans that we study after thousands of years or 1,000 years or so, because it is powerful. So that in itself is great. It's a wonderful story, and it's a great teaching. But part of the comments, the commentary on the koan and on the interaction is what I want to talk more about, and particularly let's see. So there's a verse. It's kind of like a poem that goes with the koans. It says, round, round, the pearls go round, ringing like hanging jades, borne on horses, carried on asses, loaded on iron ships, imparted to unconcerned travelers of mountains and seas. When fishing for a tortoise, down goes a cage trap. Secho added, no Zen monk in the world can hop out. So again, it's a bit esoteric, hard to follow unless you really break it down and spend some time with it. So to paraphrase, well, I won't paraphrase. I'll just kind of break down what I want to say about it, which is the unconcerned travelers. This is the point that they mention throughout the commentary and how important that is. This unconcerned. So, right, the national politician or the ministry president made an effort to travel, to come see the teacher. Just like, I don't know, there's lots of stories of monks who travel and to come find the teacher. And when he arrives, he's unconcerned. So he's putting a lot of effort into making the journey with this unconcern. And so, like I said, rather than falling into the trap and trying to be smart or pithy, he just answers with unconcern. It's like, oh, I get, right? I realize how futile it is even coming here. Even more so for you to create a trap for me. He's lighthearted. He can let it go. He's like, do you want me to go or stay? Right? I'm here. But if I don't need to be here, that's okay. You know, whatever. And he shuts the door on him. And he probably turned around and went, okay, well, that's great, right? Whatever. So this unconcern is a powerful teaching and a powerful place to reach. It says, everywhere is full of gems, even this place right here, full of gems. Whether by sea or by highway, they are gems just the same, but they cannot be loaded on ordinary boats. They have to be iron ships. Pearls of wisdom that come from this awakening are very special, and they need to be carried by people and beings who have a very strong practice and a deep understanding. Imparted to unconcerned travelers of mountains and seas. This treasure is rarely handed over to those who have not completely exhausted views of Buddha and views of Dharma. And so through our travels, through our going to the Zendo, going to the Zen center, going to the monastery, going on retreats, we don't get these pearls of wisdom or gems of awakening easily. It's for those who've completely exhausted views of Buddha and Dharma. And so we have to exhaust all of our ideas. Oh, the Zen center is like this. Oh, Zen is this. My awakening is this. It should be like this. They should be doing it this way. I should be doing it this way. I should make it to the yurt on time. Right? Our ideas of what this should be, what it's supposed to be, we have to exhaust to the point where we can be unconcerned. But the unconcern is not casual. It's not, oh, well, I'm late and I'm so awakened that I just see the emptiness of it. But no, that's not unconcern. That's, what is that? That's being flaky. And not really caring enough to take care of the heart of the matter, which is that I put the burden on other people. I burdened you by being late, and so I need to make amends for that. And if I can do that freely, then that is the unconcern. I'm concerned enough that I'm going to do everything I can to help take care of it with freedom. The freedom, the unconcern is the freedom to do it from my own inspiration and care. So it's not lack of care, it's unconcern from the place of being so concerned about everything. Concerned enough that I will do everything I can to let go of my stuck ideas. I'm going to sit for hours and thousands of hours, and I'm going to strive, and I'm going to put all my effort into this so that when I show up, I can do it freely and not be stuck and do whatever I need to take care. That's the unconcern. Buddhas and Zen masters realize the equivalent of true enlightenment through attainment of this unconcern. It is not easily imparted to someone with intellectual views and interpretations like the ministry president. So I'm not sure what that means, right? there's another interpretation of the koan where the ministry president doesn't get it. He's at a very low level. And so the teacher shuts his door because he doesn't want to further engage with the lack of understanding. And, most of our koans have some deep ambiguity where we can interpret things different ways. And that's part of the absolute and the relative, to be able to see it in different ways, see that they're both true, but we can also have a preference of how we interpret it. And I haven't studied this koan thoroughly, like from an intellectual standpoint, to really break it down. But this non-concern is kind of like the gist of what I want to emphasize here is how. So for those of us who are new or older practitioners, like new to practice or been practicing for a while, to appreciate this effort and our expectation, right? It's good to have expectations, and it's good to have goals, and it's good to be so invested in them that we care tremendously, and we have a lot of emotional energy around it, what we want to do and how we want to be supported with that. And so we're practicing very hard and diligently because of how much we care. Practice for me, part of my inspiration is to end suffering. Very early on in my practice, I got inspired to wow, I really want to do this. I really want to be a model, and I want to help turn the Dharma wheel. I want to make a difference in this world and in this life. What's the best thing I can do? One of my first realizations was getting into education. I was like, initially the Dharma, right? I want to be a Zen teacher. I want to be a teacher that has a good understanding and can be effective to help awaken the world and awaken myself. And then also education. I saw teaching our kids is the real foundation of what we want our world to be. And so I wanted to get an education and understand how is it working, because I see that it's not working very well in lots of ways. What's going on there, right? What is going on? But it takes getting into it. So I want to get into administration now as well, right? I want to help make policies because I'm seeing how it works. I'm seeing how it doesn't. So anyway, this is my inspiration. My life inspiration is to make these differences in the world. I care so much that I'm willing to just do whatever it takes. And I had a setback, relatively a setback from my expectations. I was like, oh my gosh, my first summer, I'm going to get my paid vacation for the summer, and I'm going to get to relax this summer. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to get healthy and exercise. I'm going to do lots of things that I wanted to do for years and years that I've just been so busy hustling that I haven't really had time to do. And I'm not the kind of person who can do a bunch of things and then I'm going to exercise from 8 to 9 every night. That's just not me. I literally have to have the whole day clear for me to exercise for 1 hour, and then I can do it. But I can't just squeeze things in on the run. I'm not good at that. So I really need space to take care of things that I want to that are not immediately urgent. And so I found out last week that I'm not going to get paid for the summer. And I was just devastated. Not devastated, that's really an exaggeration. I was very upset. I was very sad, very disappointed, not devastated. extremely disappointed. I was just like, oh my gosh, now I got to hustle and try and teach summer school and maybe do massage again, which I do a little bit on the side, but not too much. And I got to hustle all the summer, and then I'm going to lose insurance for a month or two, and then I'm going to have 2 months where my pay doesn't come in. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for my life. It really, really puts me on the spot for the whole summer to be hustling. And so it's like, okay, there goes my dream that I've had for all these years of just having a free, chill, like couple of months. And it's taken me a few days to process it to get to the point to where I'm really working with it, right? Especially doing this koan. I'm like, okay, I got to do it for the koan. Try to model this. And so there is a place where I can go, and I'm like, oh, well, so this is what the universe wants me to do. It's like, and I feel like when I walk Wednesday, our puppy, she's always a leader, right? Wherever we're pointed, she is sure that that's where we're going, and she wants to lead the way. And then I have to pull her back and go, no, we're going this way. And she's like, oh, we're going this way. So now she's leading that way. And she's sure that that's where we're going to go. And she's pulling me along, right? She has no idea where she's going, but she's the leader. Anyway, I'm trying to adopt some of that, right? It's like, okay, this is where I want to go, and I'm going to do everything I can. Oh, the universe said this is where I'm supposed to go. Okay, well, that doesn't matter anymore. This is where I'm going to go now, and I'm going to do the best I can here. So this unconcern, that Wednesday has, she's very concerned about where we're going, as long as that's just the natural direction. But as soon as we have to change direction, she's not concerned about that. It's like, oh, okay, well, this is what we're supposed to do. And so I'm working on that, right? Oh, okay. No summer vacation. All right, well, that's not what's supposed to happen. This is what I'm supposed to do. So how can I do this effectively? So anyway, we're at about time, and I'll leave it with that. So I encourage you all to keep on going, right? Care about what you want to do. Take your dreams and goals seriously. Work as hard as you can without hurting yourselves to reach your goal, to be who you want to be, to fulfill your potential. And then when the universe changes directions, practice being Wednesday. Wednesday's practice, I'll call it. Practice just changing directions and letting go of the expectations and appreciating that, oh, this is what the universe wants from me now. Rather than, oh, this is not what I want for the universe. Right? You got to turn that around and turn it inward. I will just, a new practice I've been working on. I often kind of share my new practices that I work with, which has been great. I've been practicing with, so I project a lot, right? I'm projecting my energy out there and there with judgment or expectation, and fear and anxiety, and I made a shift. This is an energy practice right now. So this isn't specifically a Zen practice, right, that I'm suggesting, but my Zen has sort of given me the foundation to practice this energetically. So if I start to project onto somebody something negative, I'll say, oh, I don't like what they're doing. What I did is I learned to flip that, and I turn it around. I say, oh, I love the part of myself that doesn't like what they're doing, right? And it just changes everything. It's like, or I love what they're doing. No, it's I love the part of myself that loves what they're doing. And then I become the channel of the energy rather than just project throwing my energy out there. I become like the conduit for in a deeper way to channel what's really true there. Because what's true isn't that they're good or bad. What's true is that I accept my space when I'm doing that. So it's been a powerful energy shift for me. So anyway, I just wanted to leave that with you at the end. And now, thank you all. I'll open it up for questions.